Hi, I'm the Rick and Rick Turns, and for today's project I'm going to be making this, another Christmas tree ornament. It's not too early to turn Christmas tree ornaments. This little Christmas tree ornament and a second one that I made right here, these are made out of 4 pieces. We have the base right here, this is walnut. Have the candle itself right here, this is water oak. This piece right here is a small piece of paydock. And then the 4th piece is the handle, which is made out of twisted brass colored craft wire. Remember, nothing says Christmas like an open flame and a dry fir tree. The amount of wood that we need for making this small ornament is, as you can guess, pretty small. First, I'm going to need a block of a darker colored wood. In this case, I'm using walnut. I'll be using about 3 inches of it there. Secondly, I need a light colored wood. It's going to be quite narrow. I don't need a piece this thick. Finally, I want a piece of some kind of red colored wood to make the flame for the candle, like this. And one other item as well, some craft wire. In this case, a brass colored craft wire. And that, of course, is going to make the handle for the candlestick piece. All right, let's get started. This is a block of walnut I'm going to use to make the candlestick base right here. I need about 1.5 inches in diameter, roughly 1 inch or so in height. I've got a chuck in here. I'm just going to use a dead center in the chuck. Start this off between centers to rough it down. All right, we got clearance. So a caliper set to 1 inch, and I'm going to use a parting tool just to turn my tenon right there. All right, this piece is ready to be gripped in the chuck now. So I've got the diameter here. I need this distance from here to here, which on this piece is about 1.25 inches. It can be anywhere in that neighborhood, of course. I'm just going to mark off 1.5 inches. Now I've got a good bit of material up here that I need to take off, and that will be the actual candlestick cup right there. I'm ready to start shaping this now. Now inside the base needs to be hollowed out, so it slopes down just like a little bowl, which is what it is. That's a little bit of a difficult area to get into because you've got some bulk right there. And I've got a very small scraper here that I built and rebuilt a long time ago. I had intended to make it a smooth curve on the inside, but actually I like that stepped appearance quite a bit, so I'm going to leave it like that. Now it's time to finish the candle cup itself. Those two little grooves are going to be for burn lines. This is my burn line tool, one of them anyway. What we need is a hole to receive the candle. Now this can be pretty much any size you want to that's smaller than this. And what I'm going to use is a 3/8 of an inch Forstner bit. All right, gonna go in to a 1/2 inch. I want to shape the interior just a little bit. That is this lip right here. And I'm just very carefully going to slope this area right up here. Very carefully, because there's not a lot of wood there. It's easy to shatter it. And I'm going to use my little bitty scraper tool just to make a detail here. Now this is a pretty easy bit of turning, I think you'll agree. Got the hole drilled, got the base shaped. We're down to the sanding. And I'm not going to show the sanding other than maybe right at the very end. I'm going to stop the cameras now. I'll sand it and then I'll be right back. I've sanded down to 1,000 grit on this. The base is almost done. I'm going to use some friction polish on this. And in order to get it into some of these little cracks, I'm just going to kind of drip it on in a couple of places. And for the final parting here, I'm going to use my thin blade parting tool. Okay, that looks pretty good. I like that. Still got a little nub on the bottom that I need to clean off, but we're good otherwise. All right, for the candlestick, I've got a piece of fairly light colored wood. This is water oak, I believe. And again, for this piece, probably not necessary, but going to give that a little bit of support at the end, minimize any kind of whipping because it is a small piece here. I need a 3/8 inch tenon to fit right in here. And for that, I'm going to be using my tenon cutter. I'm going to bring the rest of the candlestick down to 3/8. Last little bit of a detail, I want to put a depression right in the end of the candlestick, and that's so that I can glue a small flame made out of a red or orange wood into it. That little opening doesn't need to be very deep or really even very wide. So I'm ready to sand this. I'll be back in a moment. Sanding is all done, down to 1,000 grit. I'm going to just wipe some friction polish on here and now friction it on. And this piece is ready to take off, which I will do with my, again, thin blade parting tool. And after just a tiny bit of a sanding on this end, can put them together. Yeah, it looks pretty good. All right, there's two things left. Only one on the lathe, and that's the candle flame. Now I've got a scrap of, this is Paydock here. I was using it for another project. Actually, I was using it for another one of these Christmas ornaments. And first I'm going to bring this down around. Now here's the tip here. I want to cut a little piece on the bottom of this that's curved that'll drop down in here. And that is pretty small, maybe a quarter of an inch or so. I'm going to set some calipers to that. That's the diameter that I want there. So, let's see. Putting the bottom on this end, I can get a better idea if it's going to fit. I think it's still too wide in diameter. And let's give it another try. Okay, that's going to be a trick if I get that sanded. So I'm going to start with 320 on this. The skew leaves a nice surface. And that is 1000 grit. And now you take it off. So we got it here. I'm going to hit that very top with a little bit of sandpaper. Not bad. Now we're going to have to go over to the workbench to finish it up. It is assembly time. Got our 3 pieces here, and we'll make the 4th piece shortly. And the first piece to be glued is the candle into the holder. And I'm just going to use some thick-set cyanoacrylate glue. It's not ever going to be under any real strain. Only takes 1 drop. Put the activator on the flame. Well, prototype here, the last piece, is a handle for the entire candle dish. So for that, I am going to take 2 strands of brass colored zebra wire. I'm going to cut off about 3 inches or so, and then I'm going to wind it tightly together just like I did here. For that, I'm going to use an electric drill. Alright, here's 1 piece of wire, and here's my 2nd piece of wire, same length. Take my 2 pieces of wire, and I'm just going to chuck them up in here. Alright, get them in there nice and tight. And now, I'm going to hold the other end in my vise. And the reason is so I can do this. I've got a drill bit. It's just about the same size, maybe a tiny bit larger than the twisted wire here. Other thing I need to do is bend this. And what I'm going to do is just use anything round to use as a bending jig. And this looks good. I like it. I think I'll leave it just like that. And put this right in there. Well, one last step here. I neglected to put a hole in the end of this, which is what I did here, and I wasn't real pleased with it, so I thought I would try different approaches just to put a hole through it here. And I'll get a piece of, I don't know, transparent fishing line or something like that that won't show very much, and just put a loop through there. And then that can have a Christmas ornament hanger attached to it. So I've just drilled a tiny 1/16" hole right through the top of the flame there. So there we have it, 2 Christmas ornaments. If you decide to make one of these yourself, Merry Christmas. Even if you don't decide to make one yourself, Merry Christmas. And see you next video.